So in this video, I just want to show you how to use the LinkedIn messaging app in order to communicate on LinkedIn. So here you see I have over 16,000 connections. And so there's a lot of people here, but each person in my network is different, right? So Greg, for example, he's a chief executive. Asma is a marketing manager. Jessica Ran is a digital marketer. And whoops, yeah, so sorry, sorry about that. So, if I go down, you have different types of people. So the idea behind the LinkedIn messaging app is that you want to send the right message to the right people, depending on their job title, depending on a bunch of other factors. So if I want to send a message to Greg and he's a CEO, then I just click on message, and then on my mouse I just pull the wheel toward me, and then it's going to show different messages. If I pull the wheel toward me, the messages will increase like 3, message 4, message 5. If I push the wheel away from me, then it's going to go back to 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. So the first message is just a general introduction. So this is something I could basically send to anybody on LinkedIn. Like, if they just joined my network, I would thank them for joining my network, and I would tell them my areas of expertise and so on and so forth. So the first communication should not be a sales pitch. I mean, this is a common mistake that people are making on LinkedIn, and that's okay. I'm not judging them. I'm just saying that it's not the correct way. Because it's like, the first time you meet someone, you don't ask for a favor. You don't ask for them to send you their requirements, like as if you're ready to do business. No, the first message should just be an introduction. So like this one. Now, since Greg is a chief executive, I'm going to go to message number 2 by pulling on the wheel. And here, this message is for chief executives. Now, I have a message for CEOs, and I have services that I offer, but they're confidential, so I'm not going to put them here. But if you have a service for chief executives, then you can put it here. And what happens is that I just put the cursor in the message box, and I click on the right button, and right away it's going to type the message that I have for CEO. So I'm not going to send it because it's just a demo. Um, so I hope Greg doesn't mind being in this public demo. I don't think he minds. So for example, if I'm dealing with, let's say, Nicole, who's a consultant, so I would send a message to her. Now she says thank you, so I'm just gonna click on you're welcome. So suppose I want to send her another message, right? I just pull on the wheel on my mouse, and then I could send her something like this. A message about about how I could become a finder for her. I'm not sure if that's the kind of thing she wants, so I'm gonna go on to the next message. Is she a sales rep? I don't think so. So I'm not gonna send that message. Message number 5 is a report on artificial intelligence. Well, she's not in the field, so that's not for her. This is for coaches. She's not a coach. So you can have like 10, 20 different messages, and depending on the person that you're talking to, then you can send the right message. So for Nicole, I'm not really familiar with what she's doing, so I probably have to check her out later on, check her profile and see what kind of business or career she has. So I would send her message number 1, which is just a general thank you, and just to mention what I'm currently doing in terms of my areas of expertise. So I just have to put the cursor here, and I right click, and right away it's gonna send message number 1, and I just have to click send. So this is a demo, of course, so I'm just gonna erase all of that. So you can see that I have over 16,000 connections, so I'm not going to go through all of them in 1 week, but I'm just going to select the people that I think are likely to be interested in doing some kind of business or some kind of collaboration with me. So for example, Prabhat here, digital marketing, definitely we can do something together. Jordan is in sales. So let's take an example for sales representatives, and there's a lot of salespeople on LinkedIn, obviously, because that's where you can find B2B clients. So I click on message, and I put the cursor here, and once again I pull on the wheel, and I'm gonna have all these messages. Okay, general introduction, CEOs, LinkedIn marketing, sales, right? So Jordan is in sales, right? So I tell him, many of my connections in sales are using this app to do their prospecting. So maybe it might be interesting to you. So I ask him to check out the demo at YouTube. So this tiny URL is going to send him to YouTube, and just contact me if you're interested. So I'm just going to click here in the message box, and then I right click, and it's going to type exactly the message for sales people. Now, of course, this is just a demo, but in the real application, you would not see this heading. It would be just like this. And, I can just type Jordan, just to make it personalized. And I think it's important to take like a few seconds to write the name, because people's name is very important to them, right? And then I just click on send. So you can see that it's very convenient. And once you write down all these 10 messages, you can give the app to your digital marketing assistants or your digital marketing manager or associates, and they will be sending the same messages that you are sending on LinkedIn, and therefore you can scale your marketing and sales operation. So let's take one last example. Let's say Matthew, like he's into simulation software. Yeah, he's into simulation software. Very talented guy. I checked some of his simulation software. It's pretty good. Yeah, I could write a message to him, but let's find somebody else. Like Bobby is a sales manager. Janvi is an email marketing manager. So let's say I want to send her a message, right? So first of all, she sent me a message, so I have to respond first. Like, you don't want to just send your whatever content you're sending without responding to people. That's kind of impolite, right? So I have to say thank you and to her. But by the way, no, forget it. So I'm just going to click here, and I pull on the wheel once again. So what kind of message is appropriate for her? Maybe it's this one, the ultimate LinkedIn messaging app. Ultimate, obviously, I'm not very modest, but anyways, I'm just mentioning that I developed a custom messaging app, which is what I'm demoing right now, so that you can send the right message to the right people. So she's in email marketing. So I could write that message, but since I know that she's in email marketing, I probably want to mention email marketing somewhere in there, because otherwise, it just shows her that I didn't read her job title. So maybe I'm going to put something like PS, for email marketing. It's, something like, it's great to generate, let's say, qualified leads. So it's important to understand that the custom messaging app is the start. Like most of the time, 80% of the time, you can just type the message, but once in a while, put a PS, post scriptum, and you mention something that's related to the person. So in this case, email marketing. So it just makes it more personalized and more relevant. And this is really important. On LinkedIn, you're not just talking to one person. Like if you fail to impress that person, you just lost all the referrals that person could bring you. So please don't consider your LinkedIn connections as consumers. Nothing wrong with consumers, but I mean, these are business buyers, right? They're usually very well connected. So you want to treat them with the appropriate level of attention, because, even if Janvi, for example, let's say she doesn't have a need for my custom messaging app, she could know people who have a need for it, and she can refer them to me. So it's very important to take the time to write, the right message to the right people. Just as an example, let me just check how many connections she has. Okay, she has over 500 connections. And if I want to go, if I want to go further down, sorry, what's happening here? Okay, so if I want to go further down to know exactly how many connections she has, yeah, see, she has like, wow, over 4,000 followers. So see, like if I can connect her, I mean, if I can impress her with my messaging and my product demos, then she could turn around and recommend me to her followers, because I don't have access to her followers. Like, she's the gatekeeper, so to speak. So make sure that you treat people right. And one thing I found on LinkedIn is that, let me just show you my messaging app. I found that a lot of people, they're just pitching. Like, nothing wrong with that. I really don't want to judge people, because this is the best that they can do, right? So Ava here is just proposing this, but I don't know Ava. I think we just connected recently, and there's no rapport, there's no trust. So it's a little bit too premature for her to send me this message. Now, really, I'm not judging Ava. What she's doing is great, because I think most people on LinkedIn are a little bit too passive. So the fact that she's sending a message, that's why I say thank you, because now we can start the conversation. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that if you want to do even better, you want to send the right message to the right people, and you don't want to treat everyone as a prospect right away. What I would do if I was working for her company AI4 is that I would ask, are you interested in the field of AI? And well, in this case, I think she's not asking, because my job title is that I'm starting an AI venture. So she knows that. But my point is that when you communicate on LinkedIn, you have to be super professional. And when you use my custom messaging app, you're able to send a custom message to each person. And you can have 10, 20 different messages, and you're going to be able to send the right message. So message number 1 all the way to message number 10. And this app, I'm releasing it during the launch phase for only $97, and I'm going to help you also to craft your 10 messages. And I think that it's a very powerful tool for people to network and do prospecting on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn has 675 million people. That's a lot of people. But I think what's missing is some kind of tool that allows people to quickly send the right message to the right people, so that you can help them to move from connection. I have all these connections, right? But they're not prospects. Okay, they're just connections. So the custom messaging tool allows you to begin to talk to them by sending the right message, so that you can move them, through the funnel, and it might lead to a sale. And usually these business contracts are significant, right? We're not in the consumer space here. So anyways, guys, that's my demo for today. I hope you like it. And if you're interested in getting this custom messaging app so that you can start making money on LinkedIn or develop business, please get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to send you the app. All right. If you like this video, please share with your friends, family, your coworkers, and I'll see you in the next video.